Hey, this is another peek into one of my sketchbooks. Oh, let's see what we got here. My most current one. This one's called Japanese Meg. And she's bow-legged like Japanese girls. And there's Meg's pretty face. And put in an interesting Japanese type background. Japanese Meg. Another Meg thing I had started. And I ended up doing another version of that. That was like a line drawing version of Meg. Here's Meg derriere wearing something sexy. I was wondering what she looked like from the back, so I had to kind of make up my own version. This is a Gibson girl, the women that were popular in the early 1900s, late 1800s, I think. That one is called Evelyn Nesbit. That her real name was, I think, Evelyn Nesbit. And she was, I think, the original Gibson girl. Gibson girl. That's a song by Ethel Cain, too. Just so you know. This one's called, I forgot the name of this one. But it's, Sundays with Cybele. Sunday with Cybele. Based on a movie title. Yep. Yeah. What I got here. Here's another Meg drawing. Yet another Meg drawing in the collection. This one's called Meg Brandt. Kind of like Rembrandt style. I call it Meg Brandt. Yep. Oh, yeah. That one. Pretty good one. There's another one I did. Yeah. This one is, I forgot the name of it, but it's another one that involves Meg. But she's not the main character. The main character is a woman. And she's in a motel room doing something. And it just happens to have a picture hanging in the motel room of Meg. And Meg's wearing some sexy stuff there. If you can see. And she looks like that. I got that directly from the one where she sat on Santa Claus's lap, and she had the first big O, and that was her exact facial expression in that episode when she sat on Santa's lap, and that's the exact expression on her face. I kind of nicked it right off the, took a screenshot of it. Yeah. This is another cool girl. I forget the name. Since I do so many drawings, I kind of forget the names of some of them. Here's another one. Really like that. Kind of reminds me of something very, I don't know, New Englandish, Salem. This one's called Alice. You can make up your own story for that. She looks like a girl who's been through a trauma. I like the way I captured expression in that. And let's see, there's many more to go. So this is going to be kind of a long video. This is a little woman that was on the cover of Vogue a month ago or 2 months ago, and I just copied. I did a black and white drawing. It's just a copy. Yeah, it's nice to copy things, you know, and try to get a likeness, but it doesn't really accomplish anything in art. It just, a lot of people can do way better than that, you know, make it look like a photograph. What's the point? You're not doing any breaking ground or doing anything interesting, or, I mean, you may as well just take a photograph of it. This one is, I think it's called Lipstick. It's an abstract painting. Yeah, that was called Lipstick. I particularly like this. It's one of my most recent ones. It's called Contemplative. Again, I like capturing emotion. And I like she has like a wool type sweater on. I like the way I kind of didn't reproduce it, but kind of like, came up with a texture, a look of a texture in there. She does look contemplative. It's a suitable title. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what we got here. This one's called Black Dahlia. There's where they found her laying in the grass, partially dismembered. And there's what she looked like when she was alive. And I kind of put a religious spin on it, and hopefully she's in heaven. And there's a black and white version of that too. I like this one. I forgot the name of this too, because I do a lot of drawings and I kind of forget the names. I have to look online where I post it. But it's a girl looking in the mirror, and she does not have the prettiest face. If you look in the mirror, it broke the mirror. But from behind, she looks very lovely. Very lovely. I like her braids. I kind of like the way I did the braids. That's done in pencil. Yeah. This is called, this is a copy of my interpretation of Van Gogh's Sunflowers, one of my favorite paintings, and probably one of everybody's favorite paintings. Remember those girls threw the tomato soup in England? I think they threw a can of tomato soup at it. Sunflowers, what a masterpiece. I'm not saying mine is a masterpiece. I'm saying the Vincent van Gogh's one was a masterpiece. And this one's called Her First Bra. Kind of a prepubescent girl wearing her very first bra. She's kind of proud of it. She's like, kind of, I don't know. She looks kind of self-conscious. I don't know. And I use the same background as the Mona Lisa. That's a Da Vinci kind of landscape. Definitely copied it and reinterpreted it from the Mona Lisa. Okay. This is just some crap I did. Kind of made that up off the top of my head. I don't know what it is. Just wanted to draw something. I had no idea, so I just did that. Here's a copy of one of my friend's, a dog one of my friends used to sit for. And this one is called Title It Yourself, or Make Up Your Own Title. Yes. You can kind of think, come up with a title. That's when I posted it. That's what I said, and there was like a lot of wide-ass comments, which is to be expected online. Screw them, But that's the whole idea, Whatever you want to think of it. I like this one. It's called the head of John the Baptist. You all know who he is, right? John the Baptist. I think he was beheaded, wasn't he? And here's his head in a plate. That's called the head of John the Baptist. This is my interpretation. I did about 3 so far. This is my interpretation of the Mona Lisa. I love the hands in the original painting, how he captured it. And I'm kind of proud of the way I did the landscape. Put a little extra effort into it. I even gave her a halo. I put my own touch in there. I gave her a halo. don't think anybody's going to even watch this video. I'm lucky if 20 people will watch it. Why am I taking all this time to make this video? It's like crazy, man. Unknown woman. I was fascinated by this woman's face. I saw a picture of it online, just like it was in an old photograph, and I just thought she had an interesting face. Interesting faces turn me on. Yeah, I like women with a not conventional beauty, but kind of a twisted beauty. Who do these remind you of? That is actually, it was definitely not, yeah, you'd think it was from The Shining, right? Yeah, those are kind of like girls from The Shining. But I was more like impressed with Diane Arbus. She was a famous photographer, and she took a picture of two twins. But it also was reminiscent of The Shining, obviously. This is called Goth Girl, or Little Goth Girl, or Pretty Goth. I forget what I called it. Goth Princess. I forgot the title. Here's a picture of a cat. Again, here's another one I drew for one of my friends. She wanted me to draw a cat for a tattoo. I don't think she used that particular drawing. Yeah. And where am I now? This is going to be a long video, so get some popcorn. This one's called White. Just kidding. It's just a blank page that I haven't drawn on yet. That was influenced by the Beatles' White Album. I was thinking of doing that, just getting a white sheet of paper and putting it for sale on Marketplace. I charge them like $100 for it. You know, somebody might buy it. You know, it might sell better than my actual art. It's very possible that it would sell better than my actual art. This one's called Role Model. She's a cool girl in school with all the charisma, and she's like the nerd with the pimples, the acne, wishing that she could be her. She kind of looks up to her. She's like she's her secret admirer, and she may even have a crush on her. I don't know, this made this whole scenario up in my head. Yeah, that one's called Role Model. Here's one that made quite a noise on Marketplace, and people are still looking at it. It's called Meg. This is the first picture I drew of Meg. How would Meg look as a real woman if she was also in her 40s around now? There's the house on 31 Spooner Street. But I drew them not as cartoons, like a real house, the same house, but a real version, and the same Meg, but older, like 20 years older, and an actual, not a cartoon Meg. As if I was drawing a real person. It's just called Meg. That's the first of the Meg series. This is a very new one, my most new drawing, newest. Meg Griffin number 11. Notice where I signed it. What does that remind you of? Oh, she don't have no arms. What does that remind you of? Outline. Geez, you know, you see all this on the news, and a lot of stuff in the news influences your art, you know? A lot of it. Not that I agree with it. Fuck no. I don't agree with that at all. But anyway, let's see what I got here. Girl in a beanie. And she is a girl, and she's wearing a beanie. I mean, what else can I say about it? This is another one. I did an abstract. I do abstracts too, and I just do figurative. I just don't do representational work. I do like stuff like that. Uh, yeah. Yeah, here's another one I did, kids. This is called Decorative. Decorative. And there's another decorative one I did in with green colored ink. I think it's in here. I don't know. Here's another Meg drawing. I think it's Meg number 7. Meg, if she has sexy legs. Kind of sexy legs. I try to make them look sexy. I don't know how good they are. She is in a kind of suggestive pose. She could be sitting anywhere, somewhere in a room, in a school or something. She's just Meg as usual. This is another one I copied from Da Vinci. The Virgin Mary. I love religious art. Especially stuff from in the Renaissance and Flemish art. Okay, this is the Virgin Mary with Saint Anne and Jesus and John the Baptist, I think. The Lamb, or is that John the Baptist? I don't remember, but it's a Van Gogh, not Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, and I did my own copy of it. There's Jesus, and that's a lamb, I think, and there's I think the Virgin Mary. I forget the exact title of it, but it's a very famous painting. I think you all have seen it. I think that's about it for this book. Oh, here's one. You might like this. This is called Homeless Guy. Okay, we have Family Guy. And what if they redid the show, brought it back, and retitled it and called it, instead of living on 31 Spooner Street, he moved into a car with the family. Say Peter Griffin lost his job, and he had to just live in his car with his family. The show would be called Homeless Guy. And let me get some light on the subject here. Homeless Guy. They're all living in the car, living the life. There's what's his name, the dog? I forgot the dog's name. Brian. Isn't that the name? And there's Peter and Lois. Lois was always hot. And then there's Chris and Meg, of course. And there's Stewie in the background. And they're all like just living in a car. But the amazing thing about this, it's not just some picture I drew. It's based on a famous photograph that was, I think it was in Life magazine in the 60s or in the 70s. It was done by a famous photographer. So I just took the characters and put the Family Guy characters. It had like a family, and they were posed the exact way. And they had the 3 kids in the back, and they had the guy hugging the woman, and I put Family Guy characters in instead. And that's called Homeless Guy. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. There's still a lot more pages left. So I still have more entries to put into this particular book. Here's the last one in the book right now. This is called The Holy Mother, or with Children, or the Virgin Mary with Children. I forgot the name of this too. And it's also copied from a famous painting. And that's it for this particular sketchbook. I hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, I realized I had a few pages left to add more shit, but I'm not going to do another 20-minute video just to include those. And the next video will be on my next sketchbook, or as it progresses. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know if anybody's even going to watch this thing. but I hope somebody watches it. And I would really appreciate your comments. I'd make these things partially to get my work out there, and as a record for myself, kind of like keep a record of my my work, and also to hear your opinions of what you think about the art, and if you have any ideas of things you think I should draw, I might consider looking into those topics. And that's it.